I'm Sheriff Van Duncan, Sheriff here in Buncombe County. I appreciate everybody coming out. We're here today to report on some good work of our task force, of our Internet Crimes Against Children task force. And I'm not going to say too much about it. I'm going to turn it over to somebody who's been pretty instrumental in driving this particular task force and putting an emphasis on this type of crime, and that's our Congressman from the 11th Congressional District, B. Shooter.
It's great to know that we have incredible heroes in our community, and we have our local sheriffs are truly heroes, have done so much to protect our communities, and now not only protecting our communities, but looking really into the heart of some problems and issues and being proactive, not reactionary, but being proactive in the community of internet pornography when it comes to our children. What can be downloaded, and to look at within the household, the pictures that are being put up, are they coming from that household?
I'd like to thank a lot of people, because this has been a team effort that we've been working on for some time. Some years ago, the Western Sheriffs began meeting, and we tried to identify common points that we wanted to work on, common training issues and common problems. And this quickly became one of the problems that we focused on, because we're in this for children, and this goes directly to the heart of what we're trying to do. Congressman Schuler and the other elected officials, Senator Snow and Representative West and Representative Phil Howard, have worked with us to make a lot of things happen. And this is kind of the next step in that evolution process. We're working not only within our own local district attorney offices, but also with our U.S. Attorney's Office, U.S. Marshal Service, State Bureau of Investigation, all federal law enforcement support agencies. The Congressman and his staff came and spent time with us, and we discussed these issues over a meal. We met periodically, and then we come up with this idea that this would be one of our great pushes that we did. So, the Western Sheriffs that represent here have been very proud and pleased to work with Congressman Schuler and all these other local support agencies, both at the local, state, and federal level, to make this first push this a success. Western Shield, we're not going to stop here. This is the first step in an evolutionary process, and what we want to do is to continue not only the enforcement aspect and the protection aspect, but the education aspect.
I'm very proud to be here because I'm from Asheville, and the National Association to Protect Children started in Asheville, North Carolina, back in 2002. And our work now is very much on a national scale, but you like to think that your hometown is going to take care of your kids, of all the kids. So this is, I can't tell you how proud I am of all of these law enforcement men and women, because this used to be an invisible crime. And there are still people in our society who think it's a victimless crime, child pornography. And I want to just tell you a few things about why it's not and how this fits in. I think I can offer maybe a little bit of that national perspective. But I want to point out to everybody that child pornography, what it is, because it's really critical that everybody knows what it is. These are crime scene photos. These are photos and videos of the most horrific moments in a child's life. By definition, they're crime scenes. And they're being trafficked on an epidemic scale nationally now. The nature of these is that the victims are extremely young and getting younger, and the abuse depicted in these videos and photos is very sadistic, and most law enforcement will tell you getting worse.
We had a conversation. They brought some of the family members of children who had been abducted, sexually assaulted and abused. It was probably the most heart-wrenching hour that I've spent since I've been a member of Congress, to listen to the stories of the parents and what happened to their children, and we knew that we had to take action.
19 individuals that have been arrested, and we have other investigations that are currently ongoing due to you all's work this week. And also, I think it's very important because a lot of times I think people look at these people like they're the boogeyman. It's the person that lives next door to you. It's the person that you go to church with. It's the people that employ you. It's all sorts of people. And also, I think it's important to know that a lot of times it's looked as a male crime. And I think some of these individuals that have been arrested have been both males and females.
as sheriffs, we have to make budget decisions every year. We have to prioritize what's important and what's not important. And I'm glad it was touched on that more than 70% of the people who are viewing child pornography have victims out there. So we're taking hardcore criminals out of the system who are victimizing many people. And we're not, I'm glad that Sheriff Holland talked about next door, but this goes more than just next door. It goes across the country. It goes across the ocean. It could be anywhere in the world. The message I think we all want you to take away is that in law enforcement and government, at the state and local level, all different agencies, and in this operation you see just about every agency represented, from the local agency of municipalities to the sheriff's office, to the state level, to the federal level, all levels of the federal level, from the U.S. Post Office to U.S. Marshal, ATF, FBI, U.S. Attorney's Office, our own local prosecutors. Now, this is another war. You hear about the war on drugs, but this is a war on our children. And what you have seen today, and what you've seen come to a head here, is everybody, all these soldiers in place, including elected officials. This is a war that we're going to be fighting, and we're committed to it. So, if people are out there listening and wondering if we're serious about child pornography and enforcing it, well, you should take by what you see here that we're very serious about it. Thank you very much.